Hello, happy pre-Lionsgate. It's going to be tomorrow, 8/8, a huge portal of energy, creativity, self-expression, finding your own divine alignment with what that means for you. And so I'm feeling a lot of extra juju. I slept pretty much all day Monday. I woke up for the sunrise and then went back to sleep and had breakfast and went back to sleep and then slept until 4, and I've been going through many different meditations to clear out poisons and fear, to uplift the timelines, to work with soul truth. It's been a lot. So, and it's only Wednesday. So I wanted to do a reading, and let's see what's coming up. All of my crystals came out. I'll show you. I've got this guy, amethyst heart. It's a very special gift. Rose quartz to channel in the self-love. I'm not sure what this one is. It's like a sea foam green agate. And then these two, I cleaned in the oceans in Brazil, and I'm not entirely sure which crystals they are, but they feel very powerful. They're kind of like my twin souls. They are together. And then I have my amethyst wand. I found this baby. Amethyst and rose quartz seem to be a reoccurring theme on my crystal journey. So, who knew? Okay, so I'm going to shuffle and see what we need to know and what guidance is being given for this portal. Yeah, what do we need to see? Clear. Make sure that no mischievous little energies are stuck in there. Or energies from last reading. Yeah. Let's see what comes up. Yeah. It's a lot. You want out. Okay. We got a lot. And the first one's cremation. Yeah, it means that we are changing. And this change is pretty big. And whatever feels even the slightest bit heavy, let it go. Burn it up. Let it be a part of your rebirth and reincarnation into your new self, your truest self, up to the highest that you can at this moment. Yeah. That's going to bring in Venus and your voluptuous creativity and sensuality and pleasure. Yeah. Part of those blocks and that heaviness is that you're trapping yourself in old thought patterns and old belief systems that may have served you once upon a time but don't anymore. And you have to reconnect with who you are now and what that means to you. Because it may be different, even than from yesterday, from last week. I feel like just this morning I felt different. That's how fast things are changing, and you need to allow that combustion, of self, so that you can feel more full in your sexiness, because you are a leader. 33, divine guidance. You are meant to come into your space of leadership and ownership, whether that's in a job or a relationship or just within yourself, and lead yourself where you want to go and not wait for that right person or that right time or the right sign. Manifestation is part of action. It's not just thought. It's not just dreaming and in the thought stage. It has to come out into the action stage, in order to become a physical reality. So being that leader for yourself and getting yourself out of bed, starting a ritual, starting a meditation, getting yourself to yoga practice or to dance class or cooking or any type of nourishment, whether it's listening to a podcast, going out on a walk, connecting with a friend, whatever those things are that ground you into the truth of who you are, and engage and interact with that joyness. Yeah, joyfulness. Joyness is not a word, but it is now. Because that's when you really shine. And your power is not meant to be contained. Yeah, that's part of an old paradigm, that you're supposed to be in line and follow this regime of guilt and shame and fear and separation and I can't outshine someone else, or, envy or jealousy and all those things that just stick to you and hold you down and trap you so that you can't really come into this luscious, deep, shiny being, because you're in this darkened state. Yeah, so that's why you need to reconnect. And when I say darkened state, I mean disconnected from yourself, from that divine truth. Yeah, so it doesn't necessarily mean that you're depressed or that you have like darkness in you, so to speak, in that negative way, but it means that you're maybe blind to the gifts that you are innately given that make you unique, and you may have followed a path, say within a job or a style of relationship or even a persona or way of being. I mean, if you looked back at me 5 years ago, even a year ago, wow, even since January, I am a very different type of being than I was then. And there are parts of me that are true and that hold throughout, and there are expressions of myself that came out then that I don't feel so aligned with anymore. And a lot of that letting go has allowed me to become healthier in myself and more whole and not so compartmentalized. Yeah, because that is the key to the divine temple. Yeah, we have it. It's in ourselves. We have to tap into it. Yeah, by reconnecting. Yeah, and coming back into that voluptuousness. Yeah, but we can't do that if we are so stuck in this old way that we've been of some type of safety that looks safe and sounds safe, but isn't really safe for the soul. It's safe for societal acceptance. Yeah, those are two very different things. Being accepted by society, or maybe your family, or some other version of acceptance. Rejection is a huge trigger wound for all of us, or a lot of us. I don't want to say all, but it comes back to needing to be accepted for love and survival. If we felt like our survival was threatened, then that's going to make us want to do whatever we need to do in order to be accepted. Yeah, to gain that love, to gain that survival. And that is a reptilian brain, that's trauma-oriented, fear-based. We don't have to do anything to receive love. We just have to be open to it. Yeah, and allow it. I was talking to my grandma today about forgiveness and holding on to guilt for things that we feel like we could have done better, or obsessing over the few details that we feel like we didn't do enough, and completely ignoring years of input that focus on the beauty of the relationship or the connection or whatever was going on. And she was a caretaker for her husband who had Alzheimer's, and the last days were the hardest, of course, and she still isn't settled with how things fell apart, and she blames all of that on herself. And it's something that she says in her heart she knows he would forgive her, but I asked if she could forgive herself, and it's a lot harder to do that, and to allow forgiveness to come into our hearts and not be held to this standard of perfection and taking on responsibility that's not ours. We're not meant to keep people alive past their time. We're not meant to keep a relationship past its time. We're not meant to keep a part of ourselves. Yeah, all this pain and all this guilt and all this aggression and hurt comes from holding on to things that aren't meant to be held on to. Yeah, and that's where this comes in. Yeah. She couldn't have saved his life. You know, we're all going to die. And he had an incredible lifetime, you know, and they met 7 or 8 years before he passed, and they got to have so much love that was truly inspiring. And she holds on to those 3 or 4 days that things fell apart. And it's a discipline now to come back into our own hearts and forgive ourselves for those things that we feel like we were responsible for, that bigger picture, those weren't our things to hold on to. Yeah. And that's when you'll tap into some deep mysteries within yourself and within not just this lifetime, but other lifetimes. You know, maybe there's feelings that you have that you can't explain, or patterns that you have that don't make sense. And it might have something to do with another lifetime, another experience that you had that's stuck in your DNA, that's stuck in your karma, that you need to diffuse and find that core of what it is going on, you know? There are a lot of people that help with that. I've met a woman, Kelly, who works with Amethyst Temple. She's helped me with soul sessions and going back into lifetimes and finding where these energetic blocks are within my being and within my memory and my body, and like touching on them, addressing them. There's one where I was a little boy with my hand that had been chopped off because I had stolen. And if I was in poverty and I was the only survivor of my family, and when I reached to grab food in the market, they chopped my hand off. And so she healed it, envisioned it growing back, healed that wound, and that wound attaches itself in this lifetime for fear of success, fear of going after what I need, because in those times I was just a hungry boy trying to survive, and it's imprinted, right? So you have to reprogram that, not just from this lifetime. And it's really helped free an impending block that I've had for fear of success and for going after what I want and need. Yeah. Just tidbits. So we're coming into a new incarnation of self in this lifetime. Yeah, which is pretty cool. Because if you think about it, I mean, change, of course, is constant, but the true ability to transform yourself is such a gift. It allows a freedom of self and a freedom of curiosity and knowledge, and not having to be this one version of self in order to gain acceptance or gain love or be okay. Yeah, that's tough. I mean, I'm 29 and live with my grandma an hour away from a city that I was like obsessed with. And things have changed, as you can imagine. And I feel more full and more whole in myself now than I ever did then. I mean, there were pockets for sure, but there was a lot of distraction that I was so scared to let go of. So insanely scared. I held on. I even drove like an hour to and from for so many things just to stay in touch. And now it's calmed down and I feel more at ease with who I'm becoming. Yeah, which maybe doesn't make sense to the same girl that would spend all of her money on happy hours and dresses. I mean, I still love those things, but once in a blue moon is different than every night. And now I look forward to the things that I have and spend a lot of time with my grandma. Yeah, and that's a lot slower pace. So, what's a little bit more guidance that we need? These guys aren't ready yet for me. Yeah, we are. 6 of Swords. What thought patterns aren't helping us? Let's see. This is the She-Wolf Tarot. Yeah, my other ones are the Road to Nowhere Oracle. I don't read from those books because I love these guys. I've worked with them for a while, so the images and understandings are pretty fresh in my heart, but are pretty deep in my heart. The She-Wolf is fresh. I just got those in April. Six of Swords. Success, discovery, trying things out, and searching. What are we talking about? That mystery. Yeah. Open yourself up. Moments of mental harmony are wonderful. We may not experience them as often as we'd like, but when they happen, they're blissful. We feel the potential of our minds when the chatter quiets down and the crystal song of consciousness comes gliding through. When we receive this card, we are being encouraged to seek out more of those moments through dynamic self-exploration. What am I saying? You gotta let it go. And you gotta find this. Oh, because you gotta do this. You gotta reconnect. This means not always eating the same breakfast or taking the same route to work. Not always giving into the same worries, fears, or stressors, right? Going on a weekend adventure. Taking an unbeaten path somewhere new. Exploring the inner world with new forms of exercise or pleasure. Whatever gets us out of the humdrum routine into something different. There are countless paths to take in this life. Why would we want to stay on the same 2 or 3 this whole time? Yeah? Comfort zones are seductive things. They draw us in again and again as if aspects of them are not particularly helpful, or even if aspects of them are not particularly helpful or healthy for us anymore. Heed the message of this card and resist the resistance of the old comfort zone is dredging up. Yeah? Even if it's just for today, step outside of it and see what happens. Mantra: my next road leads to the sky. Yeah, look at her. She's like, yes, bring it on. What can I do to feel this ecstasy in life? Yeah, this voluptuousness that I'm meant to be bright and shiny. I cannot be contained. Let me live. Yeah, have you ever felt that way? Just let me live. What does that mean? Yeah, does it mean doing the exact same thing every time, only talking to the same people, only going to the same grocery store, only trying the same milk, or staying on drinking milk when you could try cashew milk or coconut milk? Yeah. My grandma and I have different eating habits, and I've gotten her on hummus as a spread instead of like cream cheese dips. They're still in the refrigerator, but now we have like 5 different hummuses in our refrigerator in addition to, and we have this seed bread that we're obsessed with because she's a very big bread eater, and I mean, bread's delicious. So just by introducing something, you don't have to commit to loving it. Just try it. Be like, I'm gonna see what this is like today and what comes up in me. And ooh, it's kind of good. Maybe it'll be a new staple. You never know until you try. These 3 wanna come out because you gotta explore your options. Look at that. Aren't they funny? I know. Because you explore your options, it breeds empowerment. Yeah? You're more powerful than you realize, and it's safe for you to be powerful. That reminds me of this card. Cannot be contained. Yeah? You're meant to shine. You're meant to feel strong and vivacious and lively and whole. And that comes with letting go of all the things that do not let you do that anymore. Yeah? Get on your adventure. Because it's time to move on. Yeah? It's time to let go of the old and worn out so the new can come in. If that doesn't round it out, I don't know what will. Yeah? So, my beautiful beings and souls, you're meant to radiate. Yeah? If it's any consolation, this is new for me, right? This is a huge breakthrough comfort zone on many different levels of speaking in spirit, trusting the channeling, exposing myself to all types of things and opportunities and feedbacks, and also staying true with myself. Yeah, I've been doing this on my own for a while, and it just got too loud not to share. Yeah, so if I can do it, you can do it. If I can move in with my grandma and feel better about myself, then I don't even know how long, maybe ever. It's possible. And it comes with you reconnecting with yourself, that true core self. Yeah? Not the parts of you that you layered on top to feel accepted in a world that is meant to keep you chasing for a carrot that doesn't really exist. Yeah? So move on from that. Yeah, because it's time to explore your options. Even if it sounds crazy. Crazy can be fun. Yeah? And that's where your empowerment lies. Yeah? Because you are your own leader. Yeah? And imagine what influence you may have on someone that is just like you, that is too scared, and they see you and it's like, wow, if they can do it, I can do it. Yeah, so open up that heart. Yeah, what was that mantra? My next road leads to the sky. Yeah, so with that, I'll see you there. Beijos.